The most interesting fact in this article says the financial sources have suggested an announcement on the possible takeover United or new investment into the club is likely to be after this week.
It's time to go!
Good afternoon and welcome to MUFC Realist TV on this day of recording. This is Mick Ruby, 28th of July, where we are actually facing three major decisions of a potential takeover. Why is it so? Well, come up from a report from Samuel Lockers today that Manchester United board members will decide on an annual general meeting amid possible takeover. We're going to dive into this article as it's taking place today, meaning that all shareholders, hosted also by Rothschilds, the majority shareholders of United PLC, has a chance to vote in vote of no confidence for the Glazers to stay another year or XYZ, also to plan and oversee to discuss the overall return on investment for the shareholders. This is taking place today, according to this article, according to what it's been reporting, 8:30 p.m. UK time. So there's pretty much what I want to dive into. Why reinvent the wheel will, Samuel Lockers has already written, but I want to share this one. United shareholders will vote on the board of directors today. It's according to Samuel Lockers. Let's dive into this article and deepak. Those invited to the office of Woods Oviatt Gilman LLP, they're the ones hosting it today, have been warned that no cameras, recording equipment, electronic devices, large bags, briefcase, or packages will be permitted. Interesting. Secrecy. Manchester United annual general meeting. Okay. Attenders received a notice of the bold italics, basically saying that with sentence underlined, basically no cameras, no recording equipment, no electronic devices, no large bags or briefcase allowed with bold italics. They may have passed through a security and photo ID would also be required. So it is hush-hush secrecy, only ones that are very tight-knit into the board Rothschilds, the majority of the shareholders. No press is allowed, and this is scrutinized heavily. So United's AMG, annual general meeting, will take place in Rochester, New York. That is approximately 335 miles away from the Charging Bull on Wall Street. The article keeps saying that it is not a setting that is naturally accompanied by succession theme, and this is not compelling a table of siblings mulling of a proposal to buy the company. The article also continues to say, in a communication sent out by United Chief Executive Richard Arnold and Chief Financial Officer Cliff Baty, shareholders have been coordinately invited to the AMG to be held 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time today, Wednesday. So basically, it is the Chief Financial Officer, Cliff, and our Chief Executive Officer, CEO Richard Arnold, have invited the majority of the Class A shareholders as the Glazers' own Class B shareholders. So basically, they are the ones like Lindsay Train, Boeing Group, Aries, and many more. And this is actually also represented by Rothschilds Bank as well. So, what does this mean? United face three key dates ahead of a possible takeover, right? Let's dive into this. As shareholders are gathering for two purposes. The shareholders are gathering for two purposes. All right. Let's see what Lockers is saying. 1, to elect 11 directors for 1-year term and until the election and qualification of the respective successors in the office. Number 2, to transact such other business as may properly come before the annual general meeting and any adjournment or postponement thereof. Okay, interesting. The incumbent dozen directors are Joel Glazer, Avram Glazer, Brian Glazer, Edward Glazer, Kevin Glazer, Darzen Glazer-Kasevich. They are the majority Class B shareholders, the whole 69%. And then you have Arnold Baty, which is the Chief Financial Officer, Patrick Stewart, Robert Leitao, Manchesterunited and John Hooks. These are the members of the board, pretty much the minority investors as well. In the document of the invitation sent to the shareholders that has been seen by Manchester Evening News, they've been citing it, I also citing it, says the board directors has nominated the following 12 individuals as nominees for election as members of a board and directors and the annual general meeting to serve 1 more year terms. Littell, Sarney and Hooks are independent directors. Brian, Edward, Kevin, Darcy are directors, while Joel Abram are the co-chairmen and directors. Stewart are the chief legal officer, who joined United 2006 and was appointed to the board of directors. This is important to mention that these 3 gentlemen are independent directors and representing the minority investments of the Class A shares. So what does this mean? They have to vote. They can vote through legal measurements, I mean, in terms of doing it online. But if you double click on this image, we can see that, you know, you can vote for, against, or abstain. But basically, prior to today's meeting, everyone can sort of vote, like, you know, Aaron Glazer for, against, abstain, right? So you can vote for no vote of confidence. Barring that we are in a takeover, will Sheikh Yassim also be invited? We don't know. Will be Ineos be there? We don't know. Unfortunately, most United fans are not allowed to vote against the Glazers. Penultimate heading entitled Other Matters. The document reads, our board of directors has no knowledge of any other matters to be presented at the annual general meeting other than those described herein. If any of other business propriety comes before the shareholders at the annual general meeting, however, it's intended that the proxy holders will vote at such matters as accordance with their discretion. Sorry, I'm a little bit dyslexic. Shareholders are not permitted to attend in person and can vote by internet. Interesting headline. Shareholders are not permitted to attend in person, but they can vote by internet. So shareholders can vote by internet. Basically, can vote them down. Okay, here's what gets interesting, right? So the shareholders that holds Class A shares in Manchester United PLC have the opportunity to vote online, to register themselves via an email, get the link and vote. So they can actually say against Abram Glazer, against Joe Glazer, against Kevin Glazer, against Brian Glazer, against Darcy Glazer, against Edward Glazer. And that is a vote out of no confidence, right? Right. Interesting. Here's what I find the most interesting at the end of the article, and this is something that we can take away, that financial sources have suggested an announcement on the possible takeover of Manchester United or new investment into the club is likelier to be after this week, meaning after the board meeting. The AMG is sandwiched between United's financial results for the third quarter, which we've seen, which were published on Tuesday. Yes, and June 30th marks the end of the fourth quarter of 2023. For example, the balance sheet date for full year's accounts. Guys, this is significant. So basically what we discovered here is potentially a vote out of no confidence. We know that the takeover has been there, right? We know that there's been a bidding war. We know that the leading bid and possible takeover of Manchester United is Sheikh Yassim. Will he be there to be attended? Is this just a formality to gather everyone? It is censored. It is closed doors. No cameras is allowed. No press is allowed. It's close-knit. Rothschild's bank is there to facilitate everything, that everything goes out smooth. And this will be the final goodbye. Hand over the keys. Guys, let me know what you think. Leave a comments below. This is me just analyzing this article, analyzing the situation, providing you with the logic and reasoning behind everything. But guys, be patient. All good things will happen very soon. Please like and subscribe to this video if you like. If you haven't done that, so it's been Mick Ruby from MUFC Realist TV, giving back your day. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching MUFC Realist TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on the socials.